up, everybody? This is Johnface Moto. Just coming at you today with a little toolbox talk about a couple of tools that I recently acquired to work on the motorcycles. If you guys have ever, actually, if you're just clicking on this for the first time, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Just trying to get that subscription up, count up, so you can make some money at this thing one day. But I appreciate all the new subscribers. You guys are killing it out there. I'm averaging at like 2 a day, seems like, which is pretty good for me. But anyways, if you guys have ever had issues with a like a squeaky belt, drive belt, or you change your back, take off your back wheel, and you put it back on, and you start getting funny noises down the road. I don't know about you guys, but that stuff drives me crazy. I can't deal with it, so I end up trying to figure it out. And just recently I had issues with the belt squeaking. The drive belt was making funny noises, and first it started off as like a whine, like a slight whine that would progressively get worse as the ride progressed. I'm assuming as it got warmer, it would stretch out a little bit, and the noise would get worse. So take the back wheel, check my alignment marks, my little tick marks. Right now I'm currently driving a Yamaha Roadstar 2001 or 2002, excuse me. And it's got the little metric bikes have the little tick marks. It's a swing arm softail. It's got the little tick marks, measurement marks in the back of the axle, so you can use it as like a guideline to get your wheel aligned, get everything trued up. So I was going off of those marks, and I've had a lot of bikes over the years, and I've always referred back to those marks as like a starting point, and then work my way from there. Either way, I try to chase it down, checking my wheel alignment, and I was, I check it, and the noise would come back. It would be good for a little while. The noise would come back. And I noticed my belt on the pulley, it was off center. So obviously, I'm on the forums and stuff. I'm doing research, Googling, trying to figure out what's going on. And there was a lot of guys on there, like, the belt's riding to one side, and it's the edge of the belt rubbing against the pulley. That's what makes the squeaking noise. And if it's a chirp, it's a loose belt. If it's a buzzing, it's too tight. So, mine was going back and forth from a buzz to a chirp. So I was adjusting it. I was either too tight, too loose. They're like, well, you got to have proper deflection in your belt. Every bike, if you have a belt in your manual, or if you go online, you can check, and it'll tell you how much deflection when 10 pounds of pressure is added to the belt from the bottom side, which is basically just a slack in it. So check your specs. So it's like I always used to, when I had any belts, I would just do the twist method. Twist it. You want to be able to twist it with like a 45 angle twist. You should be able to get out of it, and that's usually right when you want to be as far as your tension. But it all depends on how strong you are. I mean, some people's hands are stronger than others, so that's really not an accurate measurement. But either way, long story short, people are like, well, you got to use the proper gauge to apply the 10 pounds of pressure, or you're just gonna keep beating your head up against the wall guessing shit. So I got I went online and got a Motion Pro belt gauge tension tool, which is basically, I don't have it here with me right now, but I'll cut later in, and I'll show you guys the tools and how to use them. But it's just basically a little pressure gauge pump, handheld, small, and it applies, it has little tick marks on it that when you apply pressure, it'll show you how, when you reach 10 pounds of pressure on the belt. It has a little rubber O-ring with the 10 mark on it. It's got some tick marks on it for different measurements and this and that. But either way, it's a simple tool, but it's going to give you an accurate 10-pound reading. So you'll never be able to get your belt. You might get lucky. You might get the right amount of slack by looking at it or touching it, but you're never going to get an accurate reading. So anyways, I ended up getting one. I got one of those, and I got a Motion Pro rear wheel alignment tool, which is basically, you know, if you've done any research on the internet, it's just a piece of steel rod, thin gauge steel rod with little arms on it. Basically, you go from the center of your axle bolt, your swing arm pivot point, to the axle center of that. So you mark it, you set your thing. It's got a little thumb screw. You set it up to how far it is on your belt side first. You get your tension relatively close where you want it. Then you check it, and you want to check it on the ground. So with the load of the bike on it, ideally you want, you know, you on the bike with your weight, your body weight, and then you set the slack. But either way, you can do it either way. But so you set the slack, and then you take that gauge and you move it on the opposite side of the bike, and now you can see where, you know, how far you're off, and you just move it until you're lined up with that mark, and then check it a few times. Make sure you got center on both sides, and your axle and your back, your rear wheel is going to be perfectly aligned. I got the tools. Amazon delivered the tools. I got both at the same time. Super cheap. And I'm talking like probably for like the last month I've been chasing down this back and forth, taking the bags off, taking things apart, loosening it up, getting it on the jack, trying to figure it out, using tape measures, you know, other ways and means to try to get this problem solved. And I've never really had an issue as bad as this with a bike just getting the rear wheel aligned. Turns out my back tick mark, one of them was off like 1/4 of an inch. I have no idea how that happened. I don't know why it's like that. The bike's like 20 years old, so maybe the little plate that mounts on is wore out, and maybe just, who knows. But either way, I got it, like, the problem resolved in like 10-15 minutes with these tools, and it was just a simple, and it's very basic. You know, there's nothing crazy about it. Anybody can do it. Super easy. So if you're having, you know, problems chasing down gremlins with your back, you know, your belt, and I know Motion Pro has a chain, a rear wheel thing that clicks on. If you have a chain drive, it'll click on your attach onto your rear sprocket, and you can true up your rear wheel that way with the chain. So Motion Pros, you know, they've been around for a long time. They got a lot of cool stuff. It's precision tools, you know, a lot of motorcycle stuff. I highly recommend checking it out. It'll save you a shitload of time and headaches, and now every time you know, if it's out of alignment or you need to do it again just to check, it'll take you no time at all with these tools. But I'm gonna cut right now, and we'll take a look at the tools and then go over how to use them real quick.